Hello, welcome to the Monday, March 25th, 2019 meeting of the Green Bay Plan Commission. First item on the agenda is roll call. Kim Gilbert, Chair, present. Cindy Bremer, Vice Chair.
Present.
Rebecca Stacks.
Present.
Commissioner Lisa Hanson is excused. Commissioner Jacob Miller.
Present.
Commissioner Randall Petrowski.
Present.
And Commissioner Jerry Wyspinski is excused. Next item, approval of the agenda for the March 25th, 2019 meeting of the Green Bay Plan Commission.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Bremer and a second by by Alder Veronica Cortez-Stacks to approve the agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The agenda is approved. Next item, approval of the minutes from the February 25th, 2019 meeting of the Green Bay Plan Commission.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Petrowski, a second by Alder Cortez-Stacks to approve the minutes. All opposed, or all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The minutes are approved. Next item, regular business. Item 1, consideration with possible action on the request of the zoning administrator to review the site plan, rendering, and landscape plan for a proposed quick trip located at 3525 Humboldt Road.
Thank you. In Paul's staff report, he detailed some of the requirements of the PUD itself. I want to familiarize with the location. This is Humboldt. This is Huron Bay Settlement Road. This is part of the larger Eaton Heights PUD, which was approved in 2004. Most of that has single and two families back in this area, some already developed residential here. This area is for the condominiums, which should get approval pretty soon, get some action going. And then this portion here was always slotted for commercial development. We received an application from Quick Trip to do a new location there. And this is the tentative site plan. What they don't have on here is part of a restricted covenants that requires a trail system that goes between the condo lot and this lot here. So that will be part of the added requirements for this application. But just what you would typically see for Quick Trip, they have the gas base building. The building design is this similar to everything you see around town. There was more detailed information with the lighting, landscaping plan. All site plans are required to go back through the Plan Commission for approval with this PUD, so that's why it's in front of you today. So with that, we are looking for the recommendation that Paul did give in his report with the addition of the restricted covenants for Eaton Heights subdivision that requires that trail to go through.
Thank you.
Do you have the site plan that's been submitted?
That's what this is. There's a better copy in your.
Right, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Much
really-
better copy, hopefully, electronically. Didn't come through very well scanned,
I don't know,
but.
the computers don't like these large things at all. I guess actually my question is if we have somebody here representing Quick Trip.
That I
So
don't
not for
know.
us,
Okay.
that'd be good. So when we get there, I'll hold that.
Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none.
I move to open the floor.
Second. We have a motion by Commissioner Petrowski, a second by Commissioner Miller to open the floor for discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the floor is open. Is there anybody that would like to speak on this matter? Okay. And if you would give your name and address for the record?
Sure, my name is Troy Melezaville. I'll give you a card after the last name's
I know.
Probably known around here a little bit. So,
Don't have a mail.
1626 Oak Street, La Crosse, Wisconsin. And I'm real estate development manager with Quick Trip. Thanks for the time this evening. We've been working with staff to kind of put together a nice plan. This parcel's been designated for commercial and planned for some time, but just waiting for the right opportunity. I think with the activity, the ancillary development that's going out there, we think it'd be a good opportunity for Quick Trip to be of service in that east side neighborhood that right now doesn't have a whole lot for grocery options, convenience items that we think we can kind of fill a little bit of a void there. As mentioned, the store kind of sits facing to the south. Work with staff to incorporate a nice fence element and landscaping along the north lot line to kind of have that buffer area between the residential to the north and to the farther to the northeast. And then our plan would be to have access on both streets. The full access right now would be off of Humboldt Street to the south. And the driveway location shown on Bay Settlement, or Huron, if you will, would be a right-in, right-out location for access at this point. We worked last month with the Board of Zoning Appeals to make sure those driveways are wide enough to fit the movements for the vehicles in here so that we're not messing up the areas behind the curbs with ruts and things that kind of look unsightly. So I think we've got that worked into the plan now. The building itself will be about 9,000 square feet, all brick building with a standing seam metal roof. Our mechanicals are now recessed on the rooftop, so it's kind of a flat roof building with those parapet walls that come up. The store itself would be a 24/7 operation. We'd have somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 to 35 employees. And we'd be looking to build this store possibly late this year or in the spring of next year is kind of our time frame. So we've got a lease with a farmer that farms the land. We've got to work kind of through some of these issues with crops, so we're looking at that as well. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
I promised you I wouldn't want to disappoint you. Could you go to the board and point out for us where the diesel pumps are?
Sure.
I
I don't
believe
know,
I
is there
know,
a
but-
landscape plan available? Is this?
Not in this PowerPoint.
Okay.
They have it available to them, though.
Yeah, we have seen it, it's very nicely done. So those are the
Yeah,
diesel
right here,
pumps.
there's 2 lanes designated for diesel pump.
And the car wash.
The car wash, the queuing for the car wash, if you get that February day when everybody wants to wash their car, they can queue in this area. And then you enter the car wash, and then we put the louder end of the car wash with the exit where the lowers are back towards the commercial frontage on base element here on the slope. Cars would queue in here, enter the car wash, and exit on the, I guess that'd be the west facade of the building.
Okay. The reason that I'm asking is because of the additional noise level that is usually involved in the car wash. And I was wondering if it would make more sense for the car wash to be on the Huron Road side of the building, where it would be further from the residential area.
You're talking maybe in this area of the building?
Or just flip-flopping. Flipping it over sideways. Not upside down, but sideways, so that it's on the left-hand side.
So that the exit would be this direction?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay, so that
Yeah.
doesn't work right away.
Yeah, and our thought with that, we looked at a couple different options, and our thought was, you do have homes and residential in this
Right.
area, and obviously farther back to the northeast, and right now there's nothing, hopefully there's more commercial that comes along to serve the neighborhood here.
Right.
But our thought is, with the noise from the car wash, you probably get, as much noise as you would from traffic on the street. And our thought is if you aim that, and maybe staff has thoughts on it too, but our thought was to aim that back towards the noisy street, if you will, rather than more internal or east of the site. So,
Okay. Thank you.
Any further questions? Thank you.
thank you.
Is there anybody else that wishes to speak? Okay.
I move to close the board and return to regular order.
Second. Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Petrowski, a second by Commissioner Miller to return to regular order of business. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we are back.
I move to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Petrowski, a second by Commissioner Miller to approve the recommendation. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I would ask that you cast your vote.
Passed unanimously.
Thank you. Passed unanimously.
Thank you all for your time, appreciate it.
And this will go before City Council.
No, site plan only comes here,
Oh,
so it's
okay.
just approved. So then
Okay.
Paul can take care of the rest of it.
Thank you.
ASAP.
Okay, thank you. Next item is consideration with possible action on a request to approve an easement discontinuance located within vacated Lark Street at 1262 Gulf Avenue, submitted by Mullen Associates.
Thank you. So So this takes us back over to the west side on Develop Avenue. Townland Street is a cross section here. This is a vacated portion of right-of-way that was Lark Street. That was vacated in about the 70s. So for this application, this is mostly vacant land that's here, and then the parcel here is operated with a plumbing and heating company. So what they're looking to do with the easement vacation, if you take away this 12 feet that has nothing in it, it gives them more buildable area for this vacant lot. So there's been some rumblings about them repurposing this lot. We haven't received any applications on that yet, but I believe that the purpose would be to vacate this portion to make it a little bit more buildable area out of it. So the other utilities that exist within the vacated Lark Street right-of-way would still exist and be covered by that easement. So we're just vacating a portion that is unused as a discontinuance. So with that, we are recommending approval with a condition from WPS. They'd like a new easement that is unaffected by this, but it would need to be recorded by the time that this easement discontinuance is done. They just want one that goes around the border here in case they want to move their facilities at any time.
Thank you.
So the WPS request is for entirely new easement.
Brand new easement, yeah, which is kind of, since they don't have any facilities here, that's a little rare, but the applicant's okay with it, so we're okay with it.
Thank you. Any discussion? If not, the chair would entertain a motion.
So moved to approve. Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Brimmer, a second by Alder Corpus Dax to approve the recommendation. Any further discussion? Hearing none, the chair would ask that you cast your vote.
Passed unanimously.
Thank you. Okay. Next item, consideration with possible action on a request to declare a city property surplus located at Highland Park Avenue, submitted by Department of Public Works.
Thank you. So this part of town I have absolutely no familiarity with, so I hope you guys maybe do. This is Dance Avenue, Laurel Street is up here. The area that we're looking at is a portion of Highland Park Avenue, which was called something else at a previous time. When this development came in, which is Highland Park Apartments, they renamed the road and dedicated it out for them. So the application is for a portion of right-of-way that was intended to be vacated and transferred to the parcel owner, but at the time that that was done, this was all one ownership through here. That got divided, right-of-way put through, and then it just never happened. So this is kind of just a cleanup action. So it's just a very small portion, I think it's about 12, maybe 6 feet, that needs to be transferred over to the parcel owner at this location. So the request is to do that at no cost to them, because it was originally supposed to go to them in the first place, it just never ended up occurring. So DPW is asking for this, and we are recommending approval as long as it is deeded over to that property owner at no cost to them.
Thank you.
Does no cost to them include property taxes, which I presume the value of the property would be raised somewhat by the district?
Once it gets deeded to them, it gets assessed at whatever value they have for how much land they have. It's just that they don't have
It's
to
the
pay us anything to
conveyance
get
itself.
that. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Petrowski, a second by Commissioner Miller to approve the recommendation. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, the chair would ask that you cast your vote.
Passed unanimously.
Thank you. Okay, next item, informational, director's report.
All right, I'm just pulling up. I was not at the last council meeting, but we also didn't have a planning commission meeting, so the last report out was from March 5th. And the only item, I guess, that we've been continuing to deal with is the conditional use permit for the transformation house. At that council meeting, that item was pulled, and it was asked that some additional conditions be put on, and it was held. Council would like to see a parking plan, not dictating necessarily numbers of spots, but just they want to see where the applicant intends to park vehicles, because I think there's some discussion about the property lines. and then a safety and security plan that has been reviewed by the police department. So council is holding that until they see those. We've gotten some initial indication that the applicant has prepared those, so likely we'll be coming back at a meeting on April 1st.
Coming back to this council?
Coming back to council. The discussion there's no reason to send it back to Plan Commission. It's been here twice. I think we've thoroughly vetted it. So if council needed to see something, council members, then it remained there. So that's where it's staying. And potentially we'll come back on the agenda on first.
Good. Okay. Second, March 5th, 2019, council communication requesting housing unit breakdown within the city of Green Bay.
I think that Dave put together a report for you in your packets. I don't know if you guys have any questions with the numbers. We don't really know why the request came in, but we have the data. So if you guys want to do anything with it, or you can just receive and place it on file.
I do have a question that I was hoping one of you might be able to answer. Have you any notion about norms, either in the state or nationally? I mean, how do these statistics stack up against what one might consider healthy for a city?
Well, I know that within different neighborhoods, if you're looking for a balance, especially closer to like an inner city, we did a lot of research concerning the shipyard area. And you're looking to have renter versus owner at about 60-40. That's usually a good mix to have ownership at 60%, renters not above 40%.
For units?
Just
For the units or the
the
buildings?
mix, just the total mix. So that's why it gets more confusing with the buildings versus the units, because we don't always have access to that data too, which makes it harder. And we can only do that based off of our assessor's data, which says these addresses don't match. So that doesn't necessarily mean those people aren't living there, they might just have a different mailing address too.
Understood.
So the data's kind of hard to get your hands around. But the mix that we're showing here with total units at 63% for single family, assuming those are owner occupied, good mix.
Got it.
But as far as the
Okay,
mix
I
of
understand.
single versus two versus multi,
Mhm.
we don't really know which ones are owner occupied and which ones aren't owner occupied. That's a little harder to get your hands around.
But it is a measure of units that 60-40 is an acceptable kind of.
For
mix.
owner rental, yes.
Right,
So then you add in the complication of single versus
Right.
double, and doubles can have owners in them, so
yes.
it's a lot of data to.
Thank you, I understand. Okay.
Yeah, I think, I hate to say that there's no right answer, but I think in terms of the structure too, when you look at single families, two families, there comes a difference also in terms of kind of two-family units that are both rental versus one, owner occupied and having an additional rental unit in there. I think you also look at by neighborhood in terms of like densities. There's certain areas where you do have a denser, more units per acre. The reason this is on here, Person Stoyer made this as a communications. I feel it's important that it comes back through a body, but really didn't provide any context as to what he was looking for. I think just some statistics, so
Curiosity.
it's here for your information.
So is there any way to get at the owner occupied issue? I think you said before no, but I was.
To get more data?
Yeah, to find out about owner occupied, because that's the issue that has come up here over and over, and I'm kind of betting that that may be what he was thinking about too.
That I'm not sure of. I know that the data exists, but it's usually done by census tract, which goes over a lot of different boundaries that we don't
Sure.
have control over. And a lot of the information is stuff that you pay for. So based off of what we have, we can make speculative guesses based on if the owner's address matches the property address. That's about as far as we can go as a city.
Okay.
But I don't know how easy it is to do that. It's a lot of data.
Sounds like a lot of person hours.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if we needed it for something that was measurable, I think that we'd be able to gather that. I don't think it's a bad statistic to have, but I don't know how useful it is when you just look at the city as a whole, because you kind of want to target neighborhoods and go, oh, this is at 70% rentals, we have a problem here, versus if you're just looking at everybody, it doesn't really give you any context for if it's good or if it's bad.
Yeah.
So I think if it was neighborhood specific, it'd be much more beneficial, which is for the shipyard, we did track that information. We figured out what's owner, what's rental, because we need that data to make decisions. Citywide, I don't think it gives you anything.
Yeah. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Item 3, the date of the next meeting is Monday, April 8th, 2019. Next is adjournment.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Drummer, a second by Alderperson Stats to adjourn. Any further discussion? Hearing none? We are adjourned.